Hey there, thank you for hanging out with us. Your old pal, Scram and Cat, man. That can only mean one thing. You're bored. And you're listening to Derby Rocks. What's going on, Cash, man? How are you?
Oh, it's a great week to be alive.
Yeah,
Ah,
it is.
fall, it's happening. It's definitely happening.
Yeah, we're there. It's wild though. We could talk weather right away. Let's just get it out there. It's perfect. It's going to be like 80 this weekend, and it's going to warm right back up again. And it's like chilly right now. It's like 60 degrees, pretty cool. It was a little bit windy in the last couple of nights. Like fall is definitely here, ready to go. Obviously, we're into October now, so yeah, it's wild. But in typical Rochester fashion, it's going to hop right back up to 80. So
Yeah, why not? It's much like April and May are like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. I think October into November, you never know what you're going to get.
very true.
Yeah, I mean, I was listening to the news the other night, and they talked about snow a few years ago on the last day of September, which I don't remember, but they apparently, yeah, they apparently remember. So it's like, okay, but
Which farm remembers?
yeah, yeah, Pepperidge Farm, Pepperidge Farm. All right, so
Well, what's going on, man? How's your day so far? You doing all right?
yeah, yeah, being that it is not. This will air on Friday, but it is not Friday right now.
It is Wednesday. You are correct. Yes.
I got to watch the end of the second game of the Yankees Red Sox before we taped, and the Yankees pulled that out, with a run in the end of the game. So that was a good thing. So it's good. Bills are 4-0. You can't hurt that. Doesn't hurt at all. That's for sure.
Good day.
And they've got the game on Sunday night too, with coming up this weekend with their whiteout uniforms, which are very interesting. Or I like them. I do like them. I mean, they look.
I want one of those jerseys so bad, but I'm gonna like for sure spill like a whole bowl of chili down the front of it or something.
Yeah, it's white and silver, so it's really, it's gonna look weird out there with a whole team like that. So, but it's only one game a year they really do that.
Yeah,
So,
it's like a gimmicky thing, right? So they put out these gimmick jerseys to it's a money grab basically.
yeah. So, but yeah, that's exciting for this week. Obviously we're in October now. Halloween's coming.
I will say sometimes I wish the Bills didn't play. Like I wish that like night games weren't a thing. While it's cool and while it's great to be in like prime time and it's great that our team is good again and like, we're getting these prime time games. Like I don't want to be up to like 11:30, 12 o'clock watching football on a school night.
Yeah, no, I get that. That's for sure. And in fact, the last time they played a night game, I fell asleep in the middle of it. So, that's just my age catching up with me, but also it being too late as well for a game. So, but I mean, unfortunately, that's what you get when you have a good team. They're good for so many years that they get all these night games because they're all national games.
Yeah.
So it's
Most
okay. At
definitely.
least they're not playing the 9:30 ones over in like they got London this week, and they have.
Honestly, man, I'll take a nine. Like, I don't like that they have to travel for it because I know, like, it does. It throws them off, and the games might not be as good. But I'm way more realistically. I'm up at 9:30 way more times than I am awake at 11:30.
Yeah, you're right. It makes sense. It's like it's just I usually forget about them, and it's like, oh, half a game
Yeah,
over. What's going on? I usually get into the politic crap on Sunday morning on TV.
it's funny.
Yeah. So our government shut down. Yay.
Yeah, yeah, awesome. Love that. We're killing it. Everything
There we go.
is great, as they say.
Yeah.
It is going to be an awesome show, though. It is going to be a great show, you could say as well. We're going to have Showtime and Juke, both from Concussion Roller Derby, as we prepare for the Men's Roller Derby Association Championships. We've got that taking place next weekend, the 10th through the 12th, in what, like Bend, Oregon, or something like that. I forget exactly where it is, but you can go to concussionrollerderby.com and learn more and get your tickets and use coupon code ROCKS. I think it saves you 15% when you're purchasing your MRDA Champs tickets. So make sure you stick around for the second segment as we are going to have a great interview with Showtime and Juke. Both aged out juniors. Sounds like they've been around a while. I think it was Showtime who said they started in like 2012 or something silly like that. So they are, and I'm unfamiliar with their play, so excuse me, but that's a long time, so I'm sure they're quite skilled. So it's going to be a great interview. We have Champs right around the corner. Concussion, of course, went from sixth to third in the last like year or so. Quite an unbelievable bit of growth considering the teams that they're playing against. When you look at the Denvers and the Race Cities and the Gatekeepers and a lot of Tyne and Fear and some of these other teams in the top 12. So it's going to be a great interview. It's going to be a great weekend of roller derby next weekend. So make sure you go search out Concussion Roller Derby and buy some MRDA Champs tickets. But before we get to them, we should get to our weeks, I think. Were you going to say something there, Cash?
Well, I really wanted to bring up the recent rankings that came out.
Sure.
Um, and the weird thing is, the gatekeepers fall to third or second. Uh,
I guess I didn't even notice that. I didn't look that close.
Yeah, but the thing is I went and checked their schedule, and apparently didn't beat people by what they were supposed to beat them by, so that was
Yeah, it kind of counts like against you if you don't
yeah,
crush the spread.
yeah, but they haven't lost still, but it's like they
No, it's definitely weird, and it's one of the criticisms of the whole like algorithm thing. So it's like before where we could realistically say, well, even if they didn't crush the spread, they still won pretty handedly, blah blah blah, and continue to put them in first place, where the algorithm kind of counts that as a loss for them almost. If you don't beat the spread, it's pretty much a loss at that point.
Do you think that this will motivate them even more than they would have been motivated before,
I I don't. That's a great question, and I don't necessarily. I think they're a pretty motivated group as is.
Yeah,
Just being
yeah,
what, six-time champs now.
yeah.
Um, so I certainly think it's funny, and I think that they'll like potentially even use it to like keep spirits kind of light in a sense, and probably joke on it a bit just because they still haven't lost. But yeah, I guess that's a great question.
Yeah. I was thinking about that when I saw the rankings come out. It's like, wait a second. And I don't think the rankings affect this tournament coming up because that all the seeds were already out.
I think they did the seeding beforehand. Don't hold me to that, but yeah, I think the seeding was done before the rankings came out.
Yeah. So but I gotta think. I mean, it doesn't take much to
Wouldn't it be
motivate.
wild, like if they didn't get a bye or something like that because of the weird rankings, even though they had never lost?
Yeah, that would motivate them even more. But I think they don't get motivated by. They're very motivated naturally, but I think that this like kind of like they were motivated by the Race City forfeit. What was it, 2 years ago or whatever? Uh,
Right.
yeah, and they just crushed everybody except for when it came down to that was what was it, the Western Hemisphere? It wasn't even really the playoffs, but I'm scared of them now because you give them a reason to go out and stomp the team that's ahead of them now. Find a way to
Sure.
get to that game.
Yeah, and I mean, there. Again, I don't know if they necessarily care. They're just going to go out there and play roller derby like they do, and it's sort of like the gatekeeper way to just sort of keep your head down and skate almost. You know what I mean? They've never really cared about. They've never much been like politics or even only recently did they allow like satellite skaters as long as they make the practice requirements, and even then you still have a league job and stuff like that. So they've always been a pretty rigid team, I want to say. So I don't necessarily know if stuff like this is really too much on their radar. But I know they're certainly motivated to win and get that first place back, for
Oh
sure.
yeah. Oh yeah. So I that's one thing I was thinking about. See, like the seedings came out after we recorded last week, so we couldn't talk about them. But I do have, or no, they,
It's
sorry, not,
definitely fascinating.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think that, I think next week before the actual tournament, we need to do our predictions, but maybe not this
Sure.
week, but sometime, I mean, we have to record before next Friday. So,
Yeah, I
but
was gonna say I'm out of town next Friday, so we'll have to do that anyways. But
okay,
yeah,
so yeah,
uh,
we'll plan on doing it because I have some deep thoughts on some of them, and I've been
sure.
looking at those brackets, so I definitely have. But let me talk about my week. So,
Yeah, by
uh,
all means, let's get
yeah,
started. You
I'll
bet.
jump right into it. So we taped last weekend, our last
We were
week.
taping last week as well.
Yeah, and so nothing super exciting. I got like a head cold, I think, last starting at the end of last week, and because I was planning on going to these concerts in Saratoga, which is about 3.5 hours here from Rochester on Saturday. I was going to go see Alice Cooper and Judas Priest,
You
and
did. Yeah.
I did go, and I had the head cold the whole time, but I went. I went and suffered through it. But I did do a COVID test before I left because I didn't want to become a spreader or nothing. So I did go to that, but then Sunday I paid for it because one, I didn't get home till like about after 3 in the morning, and then it just not getting sleep doesn't help. But I did wake up, unfortunately, too late to join you guys down at the public market, which I wish I had. But it was a good time. I had a good time. It was a blast. It was a long drive. It just, it didn't. I had my brother with me, and he kept me company while, except for he like slept most of the way back. So I was driving, but my car kind of drives itself almost, my new car. But then I kind of like this first couple of days of work this week, I've been dealing with this head cold still, and now I'm starting to finally feel good. So it's a good thing coming up, a weekend coming up this weekend. But nothing spectacular beyond that. It has been busy in work, and which is good because busy work makes the day go back faster. That's for sure. Um,
Yeah, definitely.
I think I got nothing big going on. I think the Saturday night, a buddy of mine are going to go catch a band in town here. But beyond that, nothing super duper going on. Nothing crazy. I usually forget stuff until you start your week most of the time, anyways. And so, but yeah, not it would nothing. I was thinking when I was talking about last week when I was talking about doing the Queen City game. I forgot to mention that I bumped into Senior Wiener at that game, and he was there as spectator. So he said he doesn't get to do that often, and but I got to talk to him outside for a while, and then he was just good. He was just it was good to talk with him because he had the last time I hadn't seen him since he got the MVP at the North American qualifiers for MVP Jammer. So we talked a little bit about that and stuff. And I know that he was just in town yesterday as a guest jammer coach for Rock City Roller Derby, their practice. So, but he's doing great, and it was good to see him. And I felt really enthused after talking with him because it's like he's been through a lot in the last year, and so it was good to see how well he was doing. I saw him in D-Ray, of course, and because D-Ray, D-Ray coaches with Queen City, but they came together and stuff. I forgot to mention that last week, but it's always good to see Wiener. So, but nothing spectacular beyond that. So, what about you? How was your week?
I just want you to know, and I know we've said it like funny stuff before, but the sentence, it's always good to see Wiener, will always make me laugh because I'm 12. Um, no, man, everything's going all right. It's been a lot, always doing a lot, working a lot. Now throw in this beautiful baby boy over here. We've just got our hands full. Um, I will say it's been fun watching postseason baseball again for the Cubs. I'm a diehard Cubs fan, and it's not all too often that we get the playoffs. So it's great to see. We are unfortunately down to a game three tomorrow against the Padres, who their pitching has just been lights out. I will say, really unbelievable stuff. But other than that, last week I think again we recorded Wednesday, so Friday. I had, or was it Friday? Yeah, it was. It might have been Thursday, excuse me. Thursday, I had a catering gig. It happened to be a lot. This was like a weird one. Normally, it's pretty straightforward, but this was like a party. But then they did like a pickling class, and then they did like a five-course tasting menu. And the venue that we were at had a horrible kitchen, and it just wasn't awesome. So it ended up being quite a bit. I worked at the Montage the day after. It was actually a pretty cool show. The band's called Free Throw. They're like pop punk, emo, like clearly right up my alley kind of stuff. Yeah, exactly. Free Throw Swish. Great band. It was actually like pretty well a sold out show. And the crowd was going nuts, which is great. The band had a good time. Um, Geez, I'm trying to think of what else happened. Was there like a pay-per-view this past Saturday?
There was nothing, I don't think, but I know that you had.
I don't know what the heck else happened. I know Sunday we went to the community the community garage sale at the public market, which was cool. We actually got a couple of pretty good scores. I scored a couple of pairs of um, Vans for or Converse. I forget which one. Either way, a couple of pairs of those for $5, brand new, pretty much. They had been worn like one time, and then we got this giant Jurassic Park um, dinosaur for Anderson. That's like $100 dinosaur normally. And we got it for 15. So it was a really good score. I'm glad that we went. It's always fun to get out. It was like a nice day for it too. It's always a lot of fun. And of course, he's always like the coolest guy in the room. Everybody loves to stop and talk to him and say hi. And it's just fun. People, really enjoy seeing him out. And he's like a happy baby. Um, Without sounding too braggadocious. People literally tell us like, "Oh my God, he made my day! Like he's so happy," and it's just like the coolest thing. I love seeing that kid smile too. So I absolutely get it. We did have a big Bills win on Sunday, which was great. Um, Sunday was also a show at Darien Lake, one of the last shows for the season. It was pretty cool though. I got to get tickets for my niece, basically Emma, who some of you have heard us talk about. You've met her, obviously been around quite a while. She graduated high school because we're old as hell now. Um, so that was her graduation present. I was out of town, so I wasn't able to be at her graduation party. So we got her some tickets to a concert at Darien that she was really looking forward to, that she likes a lot. She had a great time. Double N brought her and a friend out, so it was cool to see them there. Anderson got to come to my venue and see dad at work for a few minutes. And then she took off, and then I took the girls home a little bit later. So it was really cool. Everybody came to Darien while I was working, and Emma had a blast, and I got her really good seats. And yeah, it was just great, and she was very happy, and I was glad that I got to see Emma. Um, Other than that, it's kind of just always busy. Um, that was Sunday, and then Monday we actually finished up the season with two in a row. We had a short show because Falling in Reverse is a band that has a horrible lead singer, Ronnie Radke, who's just a bad person
Yeah.
who had canceled the show like 3 weeks ago and then rescheduled it, but didn't get any new openers, even though two of the bands had dropped off. So there was literally one opener and then Falling in Reverse. And it ended really early, which fine, whatever. It was great for me. But yeah, just overall, just a bad dude. I really hate that guy. So
I had a friend of mine went to that show and he was sent video of the opening band and they were like wearing masks on their face.
yeah,
He said
Slaughter
they,
to Fail. They're like Russian or something like that.
yeah,
So
I believe he quoted them as the worst band he's ever seen in his life. So,
I don't think they're a Darien Lake kind of band. It's pretty well just like straight up like hardcore music. A lot of screaming, just very aggressive, very bass heavy. Not necessarily made for like huge crowds like that. I think they do better in like mid-sized venues, even like club-sized venues in some instances. So, um, yeah, at least the season's over, so I can slow down a little bit. I will. still do catering and still do the montage, but my Darien Lake season is over for the year. I do have two shows coming up this weekend. Next weekend is going to be um, kind of kind of crappy. I'm not going to lie. I have a conference. I'm going to Kalamazoo, Michigan,
Oh,
for the Michigan After School Association conference. And while I'm excited that like work is sending me and it's a good opportunity to go and like meet and do a booth and hopefully get some leads, it's also it's Kalamazoo, Michigan, you know,
I've
and
been there before. I can sing the song Kalamazoo. What a gal I met in Kalamazoo. There, there's actually a song that has that in the title. Okay,
yeah, yeah, no, absolutely,
that's where I was for the K Town Shakedown. That's where
yeah.
they have a team. They have more bunch of teams in that area.
Oh
So
yeah, definitely. Right.
yeah,
There's a lot of stuff going on out there, except like if there's a lot of derby going on out there. There's not much else going on out there. And it's literally like an 8 hour drive because it's so inconvenient and I'm not gonna go through Canada. So um yeah, sort of sucks, especially because it's like there's no direct flights either. It's like a 5.5 hour flight, or well, not a 5.5 hour flight, but it like total time is like 5.5 hours by the time you have a layover and this and that. So it's frustrating, and I'm just going to ultimately end up driving, and I'll have my vehicle and stuff too. So busy,
yeah.
busy, busy. Always loving on this boy. Um, there's always something else coming up. There's always something else to do. We're having a lot of fun. Oh, I think we went to this thing called the Apple Lumpkin Festival. I think it is. That was this weekend. I forgot we did that on Saturday. So we drove to Wyoming, New York, which is just the middle of nowhere, and it's like a cool. They like close down the street near like the fire department, and there's like 100 vendors and food and bands playing. So it's just like a nice little free thing that we did, and it was a good time. And we ate some food, and we walked around and bought a couple of things, and yeah, that was something fun. It's called the Apple Lumpkin Festival. I don't know, out in Wyoming, New York.
Oh.
So our thing now is we just try and find like all the free stuff to do that we can like try and tire this baby out a little bit at, and we just push them around and go get. Sorry.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was gonna say the Hilton Apple Festival's this weekend. So
Oh, that's it. Yeah,
yeah.
maybe we can find some time. We'll get out there. That'll be fun. Everything okay over there?
Oh yeah, I'm good. I'm good. We just probably need to break soon because we're a little
Sure,
bit
yeah, no,
late.
that's a great idea. I'm all set. Why don't we go ahead and we're gonna hit a commercial break. We're gonna come back and we're gonna talk to Showtime and Juke, both from Concussion Roller Derby. You're listening to Derby Rocks. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Derby Rocks. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. It's been fun so far, and it's going to be more fun. I'm really excited. When we ask a lot of our other guests what the future of roller derby looks like, it's often told that the juniors are in fact the future, and we have two aged out juniors who have been doing this a while and who are going to take part in hosting MRDA champs coming up with Concussion Roller Derby. We have Showtime and Juke joining us. Hey, folks, how we doing?
Hello, hello.
Hey there.
And thanks for coming on. We appreciate it.
So great to be here with you guys. So grateful for your time. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Grateful for your time. Thank you. We
Absolutely.
yeah.
Let's just hop right into it. Showtime, why don't you tell me your origin story and how you got involved in roller derby?
Yeah, definitely. So I started skating when I was 12 years old. Back in the day, I saw one of the Rose City Rollers teams. I believe the Breakneck Betties come out when I was little and became infatuated and wanted to go and do that. I started from my little kind of small town league and ended up skating with the Rose City Rollers as a junior with the Rosebuds. I then kind of leveled up a little bit and went to Everett, where I played with the Mob City Misfits out of Everett, Washington. That was fantastic and amazing. And once I aged out of Jerda, I started skating with Concussion, and that is where my adult kind of derby career and history have been so far, which has been awesome and a true amazing and honestly nothing short of life changing. Most definitely, I'm excited to yap and talk to you guys about it.
All right.
Yeah.
Let me
Um,
ask. So, did you mention the Rosebuds? Like, were you like leveled up from them? Is it? Yeah, for me, I would just assume that they were like, the best in that region at least. There's a team better than the Rosebuds out there for
So
junior.
yeah, I can add a little bit more context here. I was skating with the Rose City Rosebud All Stars in the female division, and when we were getting closer and up into nationals, I kind of got put in a position when I was skating with my open gender team and my female division team. I ended up kind of getting put in a position where I needed to choose one. I ended up choosing my open division team, where we went and actually won bronze that year for my final junior year. So not necessarily a level up, but definitely a different situation. And I lucked out that year. We actually ended up getting a medal and fought really hard in that situation. So
you're reasonable. I respect the decision. I appreciate the clarification as well. It's apples and oranges almost. With the Rosebuds versus the other team there. Awesome. Did you play any other sports growing up in high school or as an adult or anything?
Oh, I definitely did not. I started falling in love with skating at the roller rink, and I loved, just getting down with some friends and having a good time growing up at the skating rinks before they closed down in our local Oregon area. And then once I became 12, at the time, there was nothing for skaters any younger, juniors any younger. It has been really amazing to see that there are more programs for kids that maybe are that like 9 to 10 range or maybe even a little bit younger. So programs have definitely expanded a little bit as we've kind of grown up. But I started once I was 12 when I could start, and I just kind of jumped in there. During COVID, I did jump in when Derby was kind of taking a second, and I played football for like a quarter of a season, but I missed that full contact sport was all it was. So as soon as Derby came back and kicking, I definitely hopped back on that.
Oh, that's really cool. Was it like flag football or?
No, it was full contact, all female football. I got
I
to play
like
running
that.
back for a little bit, and I
Amazing.
never got to play any games, so I definitely like have that little. I did some practices and got beat up doing some Oklahoma drills and some other stuff. So we,
Oh, you're just ready.
take the contact sport away from the girl, but I'll find one. I promise you.
Sure, no, that's awesome. That's awesome. While we wait for Juke, I'm just gonna keep asking you some questions.
No, yeah, I'm sorry.
Sorry,
He's right here. We're good.
Okay.
our dog just came downstairs.
No, we totally get it. Your dog can be on the show
Sweet.
if they do come down. You'll often see Cashman's dog or my dog in the background, so no biggie. Don't worry about it if it does happen.
And I'm sitting on the floor, so you'll see a head poke in from the side.
Oh,
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
He'd be like jumping on us. We're like on our chairs. So, but
He says, "Where are my questions at?"
yeah, he's ready to get here.
Juke, tell us your origin story and how you got involved.
So I started skating pretty young on in like my local skating rink here where I lived, and derby was something that a lot of my family got into. My mom and my sister started playing. My dad played. My grandpa. So when the junior derby in my area became like open gender, it was just sort of like made sense. I just went into it, so everybody did, and I really enjoyed it. Started in 2011, skated up until like 2019. I aged out. I kind of knew I wanted to go into play Murda. I got like one game before like that COVID break, and I kind of waited, a long time there for everything to come back.
Yeah.
I been with concussion ever since. Been really happy about it. The guys on the team used to joke, and I was getting closer to being 18, how excited they were. They were always like, "Oh, we'll get you like a fake ID, not one that says you're 21, but one that says you're 18,
Yeah,
so they're ready for you to come play." So it's been awesome and really loved it. Life changing. Met the love of my life through it.
Sure.
I think that's pretty lucky.
I think that's pretty cool indeed. Let me ask, you referenced your grandpa. So how can I ask how old you are if your grandpa's still playing roller derby?
He's not currently playing anymore. He kind of came out of it right as I kind of aged out. I'm 24 now.
Okay.
He's in his 80s. It's Murphy Dick.
Oh, well, that tracks entirely. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, wait,
One of the
how?
legends.
There's really only one guy it could be realistic.
Yeah.
So no, okay, that makes a lot more sense. We're following now. I got a very funny anecdote. I reached out to him once, and I was just like, "Hey man, like we'd love to have you on." I think this was like a year or two ago, and he had stopped playing. He was like, "I don't skate anymore, and I'm bad at technology. I appreciate it though." And I was just like, "That's the most honest answer of everybody I've
Yeah.
ever heard."
He
I
Oh
was
my
like,
gosh. We love
"That's
Granddad. We love
yeah, no,
him.
that was great. I was like, well, if you ever change your mind, let me know. But that's a great memory that I have because I will never forget that. And this is very cool. I'm glad that you guys are here. That's awesome.
I love that. Hey,
Yeah.
we got an interview with someone in the bloodline, so we'll
There you
take you.
go.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is good. Not 84 years of age experience or whatever, but I mean, you're pretty cool too. I'm happy to have you here.
Thank you. Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
of course,
I'm
of course.
loving
How
it.
about you? Any other sports?
Uh, I kind of grew up playing a little bit of football, uh, dabbled in basketball, wasn't very good at it. I did play football in high school, but honestly, at the time I started playing derby when I was like 11, that was like way priority. So I'd
Mhm.
like to do football over the summers when derby wasn't really around. But like as soon as it would come back or like football season would be over, it'd be basically like back to that.
Fair, fair. I'm assuming you've had a fair amount of skating experience before you actually joined.
Yeah, I kind of was a little bit of like a rink rat. Like we went every Sunday night to our skate world. Like it was '80s night. That was just the one my parents like always dragged me to. Loved that. Still love '80s music. Nostalgic. But yeah, I got a lot of experience skating, and um, that was just something we did all the time. And I
Right.
think everybody was just waiting for me to start playing, so it was awesome.
Yeah, they're just waiting around for you to age out and start derby. I love that. Showtime, what about you? Did you have much skating experience before you had joined?
Definitely, like he's kind of saying, definitely popping into some of the fun skate world events and things like that. I loved all night skates as a teenager back in the day when they would, start at 8 p.m. and go all the way to 6 in the morning. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. Definitely, it's something that I miss a lot in our community is having this kind of like skating rink. Now, a lot of our skate world and companies of that have definitely closed, and so that's kind of hard and rare for us to find that OG like skate rink community over on the West Coast. So it's definitely something I miss, but we still find that time to skate and our skating love, obviously, and it just kind of connected a little bit more in our roller derby aspect. So there's lots of local open skate times and things that are a blast. But skating ever since I could tie them for sure.
Showtime, what's your favorite part about roller derby?
Oh my gosh, what a great question. I definitely a little biased, but I definitely am going to say the people that I have ended up meeting and my community that we've built along the way is most definitely the best part. Concussion this year, our team that we're both on, we started this year at number 6 and fought our way hard to get to number 3, even going into champs, which has been amazing. And our entire community and volunteers and officials and our non-skating official, everyone that has helped us and has been so incredible and amazing are only helping us be better people and me be a better human. So definitely the people and amazing skaters and just humans that we've met along the way. I feel so grateful and blessed for.
Sure. Juke, did you have a aha moment, despite being like, kind of, I don't want to say dragged into it, but, encouraged into it by your family? Was there like a moment when you were like, wow, I'm going to do this? And I love it because I actually love it, not because other people suggest that I love it.
Yeah, that's actually a really good question. I actually, my early couple years, I was a decent skater, but as far as derby skills went, like learning to plow stop or do anything like that was like almost impossible. That took a couple years. But once you kind of, I got those down and, you know, uh, they started in my junior league. They really started pulling me up to like the travel team pretty quick. And after getting like my first season on there, I was like, this is awesome. Like I can see why everybody's really into it. And I honestly didn't really get dragged into it that hard. Like I really wanted to go into it, and I was excited because we tried to start uh, like a boys only team before, like when I was a bit younger, and then that didn't really pan out. Could never get enough kids. So by the time I was a little older, and it became like more open gender derby was becoming a lot more common, especially in Jurda. That was just like super exciting. I didn't care who I got to play with or against. It was just happy to be there.
Perfect. Do you feel that there are expectations that come along with having, a full family of roller derby players?
I think it's definitely, yeah, there is kind of like that passing of like the torch, or I guess like that sibling rivalry. Because at the same time I played juniors, my sister was also on the team.
Okay.
So it's like, and she was my older sister, so she'd kind of like bully me around the house. And then when I first
Sure.
came on the track, she was also a lot better than me. So take my feet out from under me. Those were some interesting practices. But I definitely do feel like there is um, I don't feel like the expectations necessarily to like perform, but to kind of more so like give back, because my family's kind of always been a big part of it, and so trying to give back to that community that like was a huge part of all of us growing up was is really what I like the most.
Awesome. No, that's awesome, man.
I,
Great
I have a
answer.
question for Showtime. Showtime, why did you go with open gender over like playing with a women's team or WFTDA team when you aged up? I mean, and maybe it's location or what, but was there any particular reason why you went to open gender?
Yeah, definitely. So like I said, I had kind of a funky moment with the Rose City Rollers and kind of choosing what was best for me at the time and what made most sense for me in my derby career. Going and skating in open gender with Mob City Misfits, and this was going to be in 2018 Nationals in Philadelphia, and I finished out, aged out, cried my eyes out, finished with this open gender team and had an amazing time. Immediately flew from Philadelphia to Las Vegas, and I attended a little something called RollerCon. And
Oh,
I attended RollerCon 18 fresh-eyed little happy baby ready to come play some roller derby. And my experience at RollerCon, the people that I had looked up to for a really long time, the ones that were most welcoming to me, were ones that were from the Murda community and people that I had recognized myself and surrounded myself around. Bridgetown Menace, who sadly doesn't exist anymore, but we skate with a lot of people that used to skate with Bridgetown Menace.
yeah.
I had been watching them skate for a long time. I knew a lot of them face to face. I have fan photos with a lot of them. And the pathway into Murda just felt a little bit more natural for me, a little less forced. I felt more welcomed by the Murda community over the Wooftada community. It was a little bit of a hard fight against people that have really hard nails into the kind of Wooftada legend status, that it's a hard entrance to get into in socially and mentally and all the other aspects of it. And Murda did nothing except say, Showtime, you ready to play? Let's come play roller derby. And it has done nothing but be amazing to me, honestly.
So is that like a disadvantage you could say for a team like Rose that has like 200 members, and then you might get lost in that group there when you have I'm guessing fewer with the concussion and other teams, I could see that, I mean that that you wouldn't start obviously where you're being accepted into the MRDA. So
Yeah, definitely. I also I mean 100% of everything you just said, kind of that there's lots of fish in the tank, right?
yeah.
There's lots of coming. Not to say that that's any short of talent, or that people that come in and are extremely talented are not able to fight their way up to the top and make their way to these top rosters, but I think it's harder on the social aspect for sure. It felt a lot less welcoming, a lot less open. Murda at the time of me aging up, it felt really like Murda was struggling to have this sense of community and the sense of togetherness. And now that, oh man, now that I'm 25, so 6 years of being into the adult world, I've seen Murda grow and adapt and welcome, with open arms, welcome the junior community. And because the junior community is so important to me, even still, as we are aged up juniors, but we also coach and run our own junior program here in Eugene, Oregon. And so that's something I really cherish. And why not, support a organization and association that is also uplifting the junior association as well.
Oh, I get that completely. I think like Rose is run more like a business, and so maybe you do feel a little bit cold in there. I get that. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm obviously not trying to speak for everybody's perspectives or situations, but I know that for me personally, Murda did nothing. Roller derby did nothing short of change my life. Murda helped push me into a path of knowing which gold medal was important to me. And now I'm in a situation where I get to talk to you guys on a podcast. So I think awesome. I did something right, if I gotta say.
Awesome. That's great stuff. I love your energy and your vibe and your excitement. That's really awesome. So we're talking to Showtime and Juke, both from Concussion Roller Derby. We've got the MRDA Championships coming up at the Pavilion and Oregon State Fair and Expo Center, Salem, Oregon, taking place between the 10th and the 12th. Just next weekend. It's going to be awesome. So we were commenting just before we started the interview with you guys that it's a little bit weird to see the rankings and the seeding with the gatekeepers coming in at number 2 when they haven't lost, and that's just one ahead of you guys. Like, it's got to feel pretty good regardless of how you ended up there, that you're only one spot behind the 6-time reigning champs. That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, it is pretty awesome. I mean, especially from my perspective, like growing up, and Murda's really that only alleyway for me to keep playing. And so that team, like Gatekeepers team, or that you really look up to, and like of course Bridgetown as well. That was like my favorite team. But
they had cool jerseys.
Yeah, they did have amazing jerseys. But
black and purple and gray was just so cool.
It's so sick, iconic for sure.
But yeah, being like right there next to Gatekeepers is definitely like a really like amazing feeling, and I think it's also like a big shake up to see like this. I mean, they're returning from before COVID, but what to maybe a lot of newer people in the community might seem to like a new team coming in and just immediately like shooting their way up to the top of the rankings like that's definitely a surprise. But I think, we have a really good tournament coming up soon, and we're all gonna find out soon, where everybody's really at. So it's gonna be awesome.
Is there something that you are looking most forward to, Juke?
I am really looking forward to, seeing all my friends who are traveling from across the country to be there. I'm also really looking forward to, taking the track with the first time at Champs with my whole team, going into our game. Really looking forward to it. It's been kind of at the forefront of my mind of like every day. So for the past like month. So it's, I'm ready for it to be here. I'm excited.
I'm guessing that you both probably have jobs you got to do, because obviously this is a tournament's a tough thing to run, so you're not only do you play, but you're also probably going to be running around for 3 days straight, right?
Oh yeah. It's actually more like 5 days. we're pretty much clocked in from Wednesday on for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot. I mean, we've been, we've set up bouts and things like that ourselves, of course. So we know what a single game is like, let alone a weekend's worth, or we've done, round robin stuff. So
you guys know making sure all your T's are crossed and your I's are dotted, making sure that all waivers are signed and everybody's safe, on top of making sure building and venue is good. I feel really proud of how Concussion has even been preparing and getting ready for this. And I think that if anything, we're looking forward for the opportunity to show all the work that we put in and show what all of our volunteers have been doing. it's a really cool kind of big circle moment for me because champs is actually being held at the same spot I got my high school diploma and where I graduated high school. So it would be pretty amazing to be handed a gold medal at the same building, I will say.
Sure, yeah, hard to argue with that. Showtime, if I'm not mistaken, you are one of the team captains this year, correct?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Nice. What's that feel like? Is that a pretty big honor for you?
Oh my gosh, this definitely, I mean, at the beginning of the season, this is one of the, I can definitely say one of my proudest achievements for sure. I really, like I said, I've been on the team for about 6 years, and the growth and seeing every chapter and every season and how we've progressed and getting to the point where at the beginning of the season, we were ranked number 6. And, me and my co-captains and our coaches and everybody really locking in to see what we can do to move up in the rankings. And then it starts working and everybody's like, hey, we're locking in and the things that we're focusing on are working. The goals that we're hitting are working. And it's kind of hard to argue with that. So being able to sit here and proudly say, like, we are ranked number 3 globally. We are hosting champs. And our first game is Saturday at 9 a.m. And when I tell you concussion is ready, I'm telling you, concussion is ready. We are so locked in. There's so much weight behind every game that we're playing. There's so many people that we are playing for. There's so many people that, one of my co-captains had a big health scare this year. And so for him, especially, we're really wanting to fight hard and get to the point where he's feeling proud of us. Most definitely.
Understandable. How do you feel? Do you think that you're ready, like, to lead the team at such a high level? Not to like question you or like,
yeah.
It's
Definitely. I mean, the experience that we've gotten even from our bouts this year, I feel like has really prepared us to play higher level teams. Also, our experience flying to Newcastle, United Kingdom last year and playing some of the European teams, I think was a lot of really good kind of tallies in our just gaming experience and our experience in that sense. I think we are ready. I don't feel, when you asked me that question, I didn't get a funny feeling in my stomach. I immediately almost felt pride of, yeah, we fought really hard to get to this point. I feel like me and my teammates have done really well at taking care of ourselves and taking care of each other. And, we can do nothing except go out there and do our best and be the best concussion team that we can be. And I hope that, all that I hope is that we can go back and watch the games afterwards and we can feel proud of whatever performance that we provided and the championship that we are hosting and throwing this year. So even if games don't have the scores that we want, there is no way that concussion can lose the championship weekend. That's for sure.
That's a great answer, without a doubt. I have a question. Some teams are in the tournament that you've played this year. You've had a great run this past year, but you're going to be playing in your first game the winner of Magic City and Dallas. Do you have a preference for either of those teams, or not? This is
preference. Preference now. You're trying to get me in trouble. No. I will say. It's always nice to play new teams, right? Playing Dallas would, of course, be an honor. I do think that our team, as we're talking and chatting, we are definitely kind of maybe manifesting Magic to kind of be our first game and be in that sense. We have played them once this year, and it would be nice to have a redemption game and play them with their full roster and really lock in and play the great Magic City team that we know. There's amazing legends on that team. There's so many names. I mean, Rolomite is just the first name that's coming off that. It's always an honor to be on the track with him. Who B-Stang as well, right? Like they have so many people that we've been watching almost our entire careers. So getting to skate with Magic City on the track is always an honor. But both teams, I know that game is going to be a great one, and we're looking forward to playing whoever is going to fight and get that victory.
That's cool. And don't forget BA too. He's
yes, most definitely. I know. I'm sorry. I was like, I'm gonna say whoever's coming to my head. I'm gonna forget somebody important.
So let me ask you another question. Do you feel that since you can go home and go to bed in your own bed every night, you have a home field advantage?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Traveling across the world, you're gonna have tallies in the difficult category no matter what. So there's definitely, we're doing our best as Concussion to discuss with our globally traveling teams to make sure they have everything that they need and make sure that they're good. But we are very aware of the challenges that come with flying over 10 hours on an airplane and coming across the ocean. Like it's hard. It's hard on your body. It's hard on your brain. It's hard on your team. So I would be lying if I didn't say that's why we were excited to put our bid in for it in the first place, is to make sure that we can, if we're not going home, we're at least, staying only a few hours away from it. And that is definitely in the self-care category. We're going to be feeling a little bit better.
Very cool. That's exactly what I was thinking. So, yeah.
Do you have any hopeful opponents that you're looking forward to playing? I know you had just mentioned, hopefully getting Magic City, but is there like a dream scenario? Who would you play basically?
I think a lot of us are really looking forward to maybe seeing one of the French teams. I think with the way the bracket's set out, if we want to see one of the French teams, they probably have to play like Gatekeepers, which is going to be awesome. I played them once at IHOD. That was all the way back in 2022. They're a different team. We're a much different team. I'd love to play that, run that same game back. But I think seeing some of the French teams would be awesome. I don't know if it could necessarily work out unless but I'd love to see like Tyne would be awesome. It could go on. I mean, really, you got to be happy to play like anybody who's at this tournament. Even we've played Puget like was it 2 or 3 times this year, and even if we ended up playing them again, it's like that would be amazing.
That was a really nice juke answer. I have a Showtime answer. I would love to not see Denver unless we're playing them for the gold. Right. I also personally have never played Gatekeepers. I was fresh out a little psychiatric mental health moment in 2022, and I was not able to be there when they played. So I have playing the Gatekeepers is a big bucket list team for me. The Tyne and Fear game, because it didn't go exactly the way we wanted at last year's champs, that would be a huge redemption. So it's awesome to see as many European teams as we have in the top 10 of our murder rankings right now. It's awesome to see the global representation back. But I want to see the Gatekeepers, and I don't want to see Denver again because I love them to death, but we've definitely been playing and we've been both challenging each other to get ready for this. And I hope that we get to see each other at the very end because we both kick butt, if that makes sense.
Sure. So you had mentioned 2022. I remember back at one of the first tournaments coming out of it. I forget what it was called when Pittsburgh hosted that tournament. I think you guys had 8, 9, maybe 10 players. It was like the first dawn of the Derby, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
It was like not sanctioned, but it was like the first high-level Derby that came back. I was Cashman and I were both there, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, you guys came with no coach and limited players and played through the weekend. And for the next couple of years, I will say we're sort of similar. In 2024 and in 2025, obviously, is when you guys really kind of like put the pressure on and got more members and got more mojo going, however you want to look at it. You went from those events with 8, 9, 10 players to now you've got transfers and amazing help from other teams and aged up juniors and all this extra stuff, and it's really going well. Juke, I'm going to start with you. Tell me what was the difference and how did you guys really like pull it together to get to where you are now?
I think that some of those tournaments where we showed up, where we were like short bench and no coach, were really like some learning experiences for us about what we needed to do at like our league level. Because even in those moments, we had so many people who had been skating forever and had so much experience that we could still
with 8, 9,
we could still totally go out and have like strong games, but they would be so difficult without the correct like management, which is so important. And I think more people just kind of keep coming out of the woodwork, people who came back after COVID, and I think we really just got like started building like the community that was so important to all of us and kind of brought it back that way. But now that we have our coaching, this year has been amazing. The community is the best team I ever played for. It's the most fun team I've ever played for. I have learned so much this year. It's really been amazing, but definitely a big difference from being at Western Hemisphere Cup and having to have a injured skater stay geared up on the bench so that we could keep playing and not have to forfeit, basically.
Oh man. Hey, tell me if am I wrong, but some of you had some transfers over this year because obviously MRDA is doing championships and WFTDA is not. So you guys had some really big additions added to your team, I think, via transferring over. That definitely certainly is helped a lot, I bet.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I mean, they were coming over and not even just bringing their athleticism and their experience, but coming over and bringing strategy and bringing over a new way of looking and viewing things and kind of analyzing aspects on the track. That really is definitely one of the keys to our success this year. And when I think back to our games where we were ending, with that game he's talking about, we had 7 people and only 6 were able to play. I even feel myself getting a little emotional because it feels like such a growing pains type moment, right? The people that were able to go and travel to those tournaments, we are all still here. I'm pretty like everyone that was there is all very much so still here, very much so still active in the league. All of us were there because we wanted to be there. And I think that after a while, that love and that passion really comes out. And the work that we were putting into our community and our team also allowed those skaters that were kind of transferring over to be like, hey, what do y'all got going on? What do you got going over here? How can we help benefit and uplift this team? And it really has been an absolute honor with the new people from this season that have done nothing except say that this is their team and the best team that they've ever been on, which obviously makes us feel amazing as well. So it really does feel like everything was meant to happen the way it did scenario.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Really awesome. I'm looking forward to it. If you haven't gotten your tickets yet, go to concussionrollerderby.com. You can use coupon code ROCZ to save yourself a few dollars. That's ROCZ. I want to thank you guys for coming on the show and spending time with us. Great answers. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys out there. I think it's going to be awesome. Before I let you go, I just want you to take a second, and I haven't done this in a while. I'm going to bring it back for you guys because I think it'll be fascinating because I love a lot of your answers.
Yeah.
I want you to take a second and say whatever you want about whatever you want to the roller derby community. I'll start with you, Juke.
Oh, you put me on the spot.
Yeah,
come to Champs. That's the first one. Everybody come to Champs. If not, we're gonna have a really amazing stream on our Concussion Roller Derby YouTube. I'm so thankful to anybody who came on today and listened. Thank you for having us. This is my first ever podcast. Showtime's been on a few, but this is my first ever podcast, so this is a really cool, feels like a bucket list kind of thing. So really happy, proud to be here.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Make sure you follow Derby Rocz on Facebook and share it out. It'll go out live Friday.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Not only is it a podcast, but it's also a radio show. So
yeah,
true.
No, I feel real famous now. Careful, y'all. Careful. Showtime's in the spotlight.
Yeah, you're on the radio in Rochester, New York. Hopefully, we got a handful or two of people listening. So
yes, I love it. I know we do.
All right. What's your thing? What do you want to say, Showtime?
Well, I want to start and say thank you to you guys. Thank you to Derby Rocz and the community, everybody listening and everyone that's supporting. Please give them a follow. Please also follow Concussion on all of our social medias. We have Facebook and Instagram. Follow me at Hello Showtime and all of my amazing teammates. I also represent a nonprofit called Behind the Athlete, where we help support mental health for all athletes of every shape and size and every age, every situation. So please follow them as well. I love Behind the Athlete. When it comes to our roller derby community, please uplift everyone around you. Please take care of yourself. When people say that juniors are the future, they mean it. Please respect our kids. Please respect our officials. Please, everyone, let's remember that we are all on the track to do what we all love the most. So let's do it with love first, right? But thank you guys so much. And it really has been an honor. We appreciate you.
Very cool. Thank you. Go check out, again, concussionrollerderby.com. Search for them on all the socials. We've got the MRDA champs coming up next weekend in Salem, Oregon, October 10th through the 12th. Thank you guys one more time. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much, you guys. Appreciate you.
Well, thank you.
Have a great night.
Thank you, you too.
Wow, what a great interview with Showtime and Juke from Concussion Roller Derby. Go check out all their stuff. That was so cool. What passion, what excitement, what history, when your grandpa's Moby Dick, it's pretty cool, I think, right? You got to have a great family at that point. But thank you for hanging out with us. ConcussionRollerDerby.com. Go use coupon code ROCZ to save yourself some money for your champs tickets. We're going to get out of here. We'll see you next week.
See ya.